Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's 2:44 in the morning. You guys know I love doing a early morning video, okay? Anyways, the reason for this video is I hope you guys aren't shaking because you guys are like on top of a stack of books, so okay. So the reason for this video, right? So today is May 14th, 2025. And as of today, I am 50% of my reading goal for this year. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the iPod. I will be utilizing the iPad today for what we are going to do. So as of today, I am 50% into my reading goal, right? My reading goal is 80, so I am 40 books deep, right? We are 5 months in. Next month will be half of the year. So I figured before I read my 41st book, I want to talk to y'all about the 40 books that I read. I want to talk to y'all about the 40 books that I read because I kid you not, I don't know what happened, but I have not been having fun. I do not know what happened, but I have not been having fun, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the books off the shelf, stack them up right here, and we're going to chat about them. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm not going to... I'll grab the books and I'll come back. I'm also going to stack them in chronological order. So January 1st, go down, okay? So I'll be back. Bro, I figured before I dismantle the bookshelf, let me show y'all the bookshelf. I don't know what it is. There's something oddly therapeutic about redoing a bookshelf. I posted a video in April about me redoing my bookshelf, and now I'm making this video so I could redo the bookshelf, even though, I kid you not, I redid the bookshelf earlier this month. I did. Anywho, this is the bookshelf. I don't know, I just love stacking books. I just love I love the Tetris of it all. I don't know. I love it. 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 Anyways, time to dismantle. Okay. It's 3:30. This took way too long to set up. Let's get into it, right? I have all the books right here. Have the iPod set up right there. Let's chat first 50% of the reading goal, okay? So on January... Also, okay, so for the first book I started it on 12/21, but I finished on January 2nd. So, however, whenever I finish the book is based on where I set the book in the month. So far these are all they're in order, okay? They're in order. Okay. So, first book we have straight off of First Wing.
Are you slow?
I went straight into Iron Flame, and I originally gave this book 4 out of 5, and then we read Onyx Storm, and then I went back and I changed this to a 3.75 because so I'm not going to read my entire review, but I'm going to sum it up, okay? I'm going to sum it up. So I have which when I say this and when I say it out loud, I'm thinking, how the fuck did you give this book 4 stars, babe? Like, how did you give this book 4 stars? Okay? But so I have that I hated the first 26 chapters. And I kid you not, I hated the first 26 chapters. Okay? The first 26 chapters I hated. And that is, I'm gonna tell you, baby. I'm gonna tell you. The first 26 chapters is 241 pages. I hated 241 pages of a book, but I gave it 4 stars. If that doesn't tell you how my reading has went, okay. So I didn't like this book. I didn't like this book as well as Fourth Wing and Onyx Storm, because I think I gave Onyx Storm a higher review than this. I didn't like this one because the first 26 chapters was very much romance heavy, and it wasn't even like fun romance. It was toxic. It was whiny. Like I have here, I have that. It was whiny, needy, and toxic. It was just sexy. The sex scenes weren't even good. The sex scenes were not even good. It was just, ugh. And then I found out that Miss Rebecca Yarros is a romance author. These are her first fantasy books. So I was like, oh, that explains it all. Like, 27 Go Down is when she was like, oh, I'm writing a fantasy book. I have talking dragons and shit. And she put down the sex shit because it just wasn't given, okay? Because I'm shaking, you guys. I'll put them on the floor. Next we have, so we have some audiobooks. I'll add them up there when I do the editing and shit. But we have, our second book is A Kind Word Killing. By Peter Swanson. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. I found a favorite author with this. Now, I don't know if I would say an auto-buy author. I found an auto-buy author with A Kind Word Killing by Peter Swanson. That shit was fire. I said, now I listened to that, so I was like, I enjoyed the fuck out of this book, okay? I enjoyed the fuck out of A Kind Word Killing. And I did have that. I read a lot of thrillers, right? I'm a thriller and a domestic thriller guy, okay? So that's on my shelf. You're not going to find a romance book, okay? You see Red, Red, and Royal Blue, you'll find the gay shit. You'll find the gay shit. You're not going to find no straight romances on my shelf. And if there is, it's far few. It's very few, okay? So I said that it was almost like a paint by number, cause like after a while I started following the story. Like with thrillers, when you read a good amount of thrillers, it kind of just like the plot points, the formatting, everything sticks in your head. So when you read other shit, it just like, okay. But Peter Swanson did something with his story and his characters. Ooh, I gave that a 4 out of 5. Next, we have another audiobook, and it was Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. I gave that a 4.5. I enjoyed it, but same with A Kind Word Killing. I've read domestic thrillers before, so once you follow the beats, and I could follow the beats, then you're gonna rank high. You know. Now, that does not happen with our next book, The House Swap, right? By Rebecca Fleet. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. This was a domestic thriller, right? And I like my domestic thriller characters to be well-rounded. I just feel like there's a level of not like the in a domestic thriller when you're committing crimes. I just feel like, granted, people do stupid shit, but there's a level of awareness you should have, or that should kick in when you're committing. I don't know. It's just certain shit just stupid, and that happened here. I Some shit worked, some shit didn't. Stupid. 3.5 out of 5. Next, we have The Club by Ellery Lloyd. I don't have the book. This was indeed an audiobook. I gave it 3.75 out of 5. These kind of books work for me. Now, The Club is supposed to be, forgive me if I don't remember like that, okay? But I'm going on the Goodreads, okay? So, The Club is a 5-star resort type shit where all kind of celebrities and stuff are allowed to come to this club to like basically not be themselves. So when you go to this club as the celebrity that you are, you're leaving the celebrityness outside. When you're inside this quarter, you're a regular person. You're allowed to do regular shit. You're allowed to do the fuck, like when there's that big thing where like Hannah Montana, where Miley Cyrus started smoking and all that shit. Like, what do you expect? She's a high school. You know what I mean? Like, she started smoking and she started doing all these bad stuff. The club is where these celebrities would go to do said shit, and someone dies. Throughout the story, we're trying to figure out who dies. This is kind of like lock room thriller because they're on an island and someone's dead. This kind of didn't work for me. A 3.75 out of 5. It worked for me well enough. I just feel like if you're gonna do something like that, add another body. You know what I mean? Add another body. So that was that. Add another body. Next we have The Girls Are Also Nice Here by Lauren Elizabeth Flynn. I gave this 5 out of 5. Now, not to be like superstitious or anything, but like anytime I read a dedication and the dedication gags me, I immediately know I'm going to have a high rated book. That's just that. It just is what it is. So this dedication says, for every girl who got what she wanted at a cost she couldn't afford. Something about this book gave what we wanted Pretty Little Liars season 6 and 7 to be. This is what this was. Because 7 seasons in and my bitches are still in high school? Absolutely not. This, however, took the Pretty Little Liars concept, Mean Girls in high school, and took it to the real world with a university setting, a reunion, and this, it just ate. I'm sorry that I'm not doing a good job at like telling you what the book is, but like this is not what the video is. You know what I mean? This is a video for me to like tell you how my reading went. So yeah, we have another audiobook with Karen Slaughter, False Witness. No, I did not read it. I think I did. Maybe last year I listened to a Karen Slaughter, because I don't have any Karen Slaughter on my shelf. But False Witness by Karen Slaughter, I think I gave it a 3 out of 5. It was fine, but it took way too long to get to the plot of this. So basically, this crime happens in the past, and the past catches up to the present, but throughout the story, we know what's going on, okay? The characters know what's going on, okay? They're playing this cat and mouse game, but the crescendo of it didn't hit until like the 85% mark. And then the book just kept going. I remember this book vividly, because after I finished, right? When I was listening to this book, I was like, why is this book still going? Like, why does it feel like it's so long? And then I read some reviews, and apparently it's not only this book, but apparently Karen Slaughter has she's a word girly, you know what I mean? She's a word count girly. She's gonna reach that word count because her books are long. One of the main consensus across her books are long. So 3 out of 5, you know what I mean? I have a thing where, bro, as a reader, when you read in a book, you know when the story ends, okay? You feel the story end. It after that, when you look at your book and you're like, I have 50 more pages to go. I have 70. The story just ended. It's like why would you do that? But then you realize, oh, you're a word count girly. Okay. Next we have The Sweetness of Water by Nathan Harris. I enjoy this, okay? I enjoy this. I give this a 4 out of 5. This, and the only reason why it didn't get that 5-star is when I read books, you know when we were younger and our parents would be like yelling at the TV, like when they're watching the soaps and shit, they'd be like cussing the TV and shit. When I read books, there's stuff that happens. There's character development that take place, and then you expect the character to do something that's not in their wheelhouse. And it just you just don't get, and you're like, that was such a missed opportunity. Like that was such, you gave me someone in the beginning of a book who will let people trample over them, who wasn't necessarily a pushover, but always gave in type shit. And then you give them this like character development, and then I don't know, I expect you to say something or do something outside of the norm, but like you don't. So it's like, okay, I see, but like you could have just gave me that, but it's fine. 4 out of 5. Okay, is that the last book for January? Let me see. No. The last book for January was The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. I listened to that on audio. I gave it a 3.5. I can't tell you what it was. I said that this was relatively good. I really like the mystery solving aspect and the sleuthing. I take that back. I did not enjoy the sleuthing. I did, and I think that's why I gave it the 3.5. The sleuthing was not. I don't even remember what the fuck this book was, to be honest. 3.5. I'll put the problem with listening to okay. So the problem with listening to books on audio is I I could see the book, I could hear stuff in my head, but to summarize what this book was when I listened to it in January, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't even remember song lyrics. You know what I mean? I have trouble remembering song lyrics, so you take what you get and you wash your hands. So, okay, let me lubricate real quick. Okay. So February we start off on, and I'm looking at my Goodreads, and I think this is where I started to go downhill. I think this is where I started to go downhill. At the end, I'm gonna try to compile the ratings to see what my overall rating for the 50% mark of my reading has been. I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be good because I think this is where I started not having fun. Not having fun. You know what I mean? In January I had 1 5-star, and that was with the girls are also nice here. And then we started staying in that 3.5, that 3 territory, and I think that carried over into each month because I'm looking at this shit right now, and I kid you not. February, okay? So February we have a next audiobook. I started with All the Best Liars by Amelia Canely. I'm gonna say Canely. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. And I had a okay. So this is the next Pretty Little Liar-esque book. Something happens. Um, you're going you're going back and forth between past and present to see what happens, what sums it up, what took place. And I have this is going to be my next. So if I told you in domestic thrillers, I need my characters to be well-rounded. Like I need in domestic thrillers, if I need my characters to be smart, meticulous, calculated people. This also starts docking points in those kind of books. So the 3.5 for All the Best Liars by Amelia Canely. The detectives, oh, if it's one thing that's going to piss me off immediately, okay, is cocky detective, cocky cops. Why? And it's like they walk around how these authors write these detectives and and cops and shit is they write these detectives as if they already solved the crime, not even knowing what the fuck the crime is. They write these detectives with this air of like I already know what's going on, so you might as well tell me. Don't even lie. Just give me the shit straight up. And I'm like, you just got called. You haven't even brushed your teeth. You just put on your slacks and you walked out the door. Pipe that shit the fuck down. Pipe that shit the fuck down. And 3.5 out of 5, okay? Next we have Summer Sons, okay? Summer Sons by Lee Mandello. I gave this a 3.75 out of 5. Now, this has some of, because I'm reading my review, okay? This has some of the hottest men that I have read, okay? This has some of the hottest men that I have read, okay? What did I say? Because I'm not even sitting too long on this shit. I said the main character, I said so hot, 10 out of 10, gay, rough, country men, top tier shit. Hey, I might be a man, but I am gay. Bro, I just, hot men, okay? But then I have Andrew, okay? I hated Andrew, which is our main character. Oh, I was saying that. Oh, I was saying Sam was hot, 10 out of 10. But he's not the main character. He's a secondary character, but he is the main character. Andrew is the main character. I hated Andrew. Okay? Whiny, selfish, bitchy. That's the 3 words I have to describe Andrew. Whiny, selfish, bitchy, okay? I don't like it. And then I also have, I don't like when a book tries to tell me that these two people have such an ungodly amount of love for each other, to the point where if one of them dies, the other person has monopoly over that person. Andrew in this book, okay, Andrew and Eddie, I could tell you, Eddie is the dead one because it's all in the back, right? I could tell you, Eddie's death, Andrew is so fucking possessive over this man's dead body. Over, not dead body, but like dead persona. Like he's the only one that could talk about Andrew. About Eddie. He's the only one that could bring him up. He's the only one that could say that he knew him. He's the only one that could do this, that, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up, Brody. Who the fuck do you think you are? Like 3.75 out of 5 stars. Hot men, shitty main character. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay. Next we have The September House. I don't have the book. This was an audio. The September House. Okay, back to things that I hate, right? I gave it a 3.5. I gave it a 3 out of 5. No, 3.5. I gave it a 3 out of 5. If I hate stupid criminals, if I hate cocky detectives, the next thing I hate is grown ass adults throwing tantrums. if I hate those things, I hate grown people acting like children. In this book, right, we have a house. I don't even know. I feel like I should go um into description with this one because this one struck a chord with me, okay? So we have this house, right? In September, it does all this scary, spooky, stupid shit, right? And a mother and I don't even know this bitch's name. A lady moves in, right? Margaret and her husband Hal moves into this house, right? Hal wants no part of it. No part of it, okay? But Margaret's attached to this bitch, okay? Margaret's love this house, okay? So boom. So boom. In September, spooky shit starts to happen, right? Blah. So the father goes missing, right? And the daughter, now this is where I started getting peeved off, right? So in the daughter's POV, I think it was dual POV. In the daughter's POV, right? She's telling us how much she doesn't talk to her dad. She doesn't do this. They don't do that. They don't do this. They don't do that, right? And they have these. I think they have these weekly calls, right? So like it's a one call thing that they get, and the father he stops calling after a while, right? So the daughter comes, she's like, Mom, what's going on? Where's dad? Blah, this squaze. He's missed our weekly call, you know? Boom. I'm only in February, and we're already 30 minutes in. Let me speed this shit up. So she's like, boom, I'm coming down there to see what's tea because I know you're keeping something from me, okay? I don't like when we clearly have a set of adults and then we clearly have the children of said adults, but they are adults themselves. So I don't like when we have two sets of adults and then when they're together they revert back to their beginning. So in the beginning it would be the mother and her child, right? Babe, you're about 30 something years old. Why the fuck are you throwing these tantrums? You know what I mean? You're about 30 something years old. Why are you throwing these fucking tantrums? And then we have the mother, right? The mother is so like, she's like, she just gives in, okay? The daughter comes in, right? And she's like, I don't like this house, da 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 da. Where you're getting out of here, da 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 da. And the mother's like, she's like, no, I like the house, boom boom boom. But she doesn't stand 10 toes on that shit. She doesn't. She gets bitched around in her own house by her own kid. 3 out of 5. Okay. Now we have Onyx Storm. We have Onyx Storm, the third book in the Empyrean series. Apparently, there's going to be 5 of them. I don't know about that, babe. I don't know if I'm gonna continue, but I gave this a 4.5. I Fourth Wing, creme de la creme, okay? Iron Flame, Onyx Storm did what Iron Flame wanted to do. With way less romance. And I enjoy that. I enjoyed it. Cause my whole thing is, what is all this? Tree. My whole thing is, you could have your romance. You could have your smut. But like, with Iron Flame, it felt like she did not know how to marry the two of them. Like, I kid you not, the first 26 chapters of Iron Flame felt like a bad fucking romance book. It felt like a bad, cheesy romance novel. And that's not what I signed up for. That I signed up for talking dragons, people losing their lives, and maybe a bit of smut. Maybe a bit of smut. You know what I mean? But like when you got this bitch begging for some dick in book 2, when she this is my next thing, right? We're 3 books in. When the fuck does Violet get a control on her powers? We're 3 books in. We are what, roughly we're well over 1,000,000 words, right? We're well over 1,000,000 words throughout these 3 books. When the fuck could Violet start to do a little 1-2? When the fuck would Violet get to do a little 1-2? Why does she keep having to be this fragile? We're 3 books in. Bitch, you have 2 dragons. You're the only bitch with 2 dragons. Wrap that fragile shit up ASAP, okay? ASAP. Next we have My Monticello. I really can't tell you what this book was about. I really can't tell you what this book was about. No tea, no shade, all lemonade. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because I kid you not, I finished this and I was fucking confused. That's what I have. That's what I wrote. I said I really don't know what took place in this story. It was very much all over the place. Book first started off with 3 to 4 short stories and then went into a book. The book started off, right, with 4 short stories that were supposed to essentially tie into what the book was about. Absolutely not. 3 out of 5. Next we have Grady Hendrix. I was going to see if I had any like favorite authors here so far, and I don't know, I would read another book by Lauren Elizabeth Flynn. Same with Nathan Harris. Lee Mondello, I would read another book from him. Joyce Nicole Jocelyn. No. Grady Hendrix, My Best Friend Exorcism. I gave this a 4.75 out of 5. Yeah, I enjoyed the fuck out of this, Brody. I enjoyed the fuck out. Atmospheric, Brody. I felt like I was there, okay? I felt like I was there, and although I was not, I was born in the 2000s, okay? So this story being like, what was the fucking time period? I hate it here. What was the fucking time period, babe? '82. So that was, what, 20 years before I was born? Bro, I don't know, but this felt like, look at the cover. It felt very, yeah. I enjoyed my first Grady Hendrix book, and I'm going to pick more Grady Hendrix up. I gave this a 4.75 out of 5 because, I said, two things, okay? There was a time jump, and I could have dealt with the time jump. I think I wanted a little bit more with that time jump. And then I said I felt like a part of the story at the end was missing. Maybe. I'm so sorry. Maybe, but I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, what I said was missing was like the friends. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5. Rounded up to the 5. You know what I mean? But it'll get. Rady Hendrix will get another read from me. He'll get my coins. Last book for February. We're 40 minutes in. Oh, last book for February. Let me wrap this shit. Let me speed this shit up. Was Into the Water by Paula Hopkins. I gave that a 3 out of 5. This story, I don't even know what the fuck it was about. It hypocrites, okay? That's the next thing that I don't like. I don't like stupid hypocrites. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And this book was filled with hypocrites, selfish hypocrites at that. Also, this book did okay, it's jogging my memory. There was something paranormal about it, but like there was no paranormal activity going on, but also there was paranormal activity going on, and that wasn't explained, and I was just like, okay, okay, um, and then the ending, I like I said earlier, some authors don't know when to end a book, so they just start clanking away at the fingers. The ending threw me off. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. March. March. Okay. The first book I have, Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. I gave that 5 out of 5. I gave that 5 out of 5. In my review here, I said that whatever slump I was in, this completely knocked it out. And did. And did. Because this was. These two were the only books that I. In February, these two were the only books that I really gave high praise. They both got 4.75 out of 5. Everything else went below. And I started feeling like I was in a slump. Like, I started feeling like, and this feeling traveled into the rest of the month, into the rest of the months into the rest of the books that I read. So, but Incidents Around the House, I gave that 5 stars. I gave that 5 stars. I enjoyed everything. Okay, everything. I enjoyed the kid. I enjoyed the mothers. Mothers. I enjoyed the father. I enjoy when an author knows that there's just some shit that you can't win. There's some stuff that your characters just can't walk away from, and I enjoyed that being added into the story, because what y'all when I was listening to what they were about to do, I was like, oh, you're dead. Anyways, next, History is up. Whoa. You're not him. Hold up. Wait a minute. When did we read this bitch? I may have my wires crossed. pause one moment. I'm not even gonna pause. You guys can stay. You could watch me delegate. I'm trying to see. Do I not have? Okay, I guess I didn't. I don't have the book. I thought I had. I thought I had my. You know, I thought I had me all my Sylvesters, all my Adam Sylvesters. Okay. Oh, I read this in 2024. Interesting. 2024 is such a blur to me. Okay, but I read History is All You Left Me. I'll put the book there. History is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, and I gave that 3.5 out of 5. And at this point in my Adam Silvera, I would have read 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have read 4 Adam Silvera books. I'm aware that his new book just came out. The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. I'm aware that just came out. I will be getting. And I also have Infinity Sons that I could get into, which is a start of a series that he has. But I gave History is All You Left Me a 3.5 out of 5. And in my review, I said that. So I clearly said this was not my favorite Adam Silvera book. This was a story about grief and the aftermath of people left to deal with it. I personally can. Again, I don't like possessiveness over the dead. Because again, who are you? Who are you to be so entitled to think that you are the only one who can talk about this one person? No. Okay, and another thing that I like that I don't like, okay? And I mentioned that in this book. Books and authors, right? So authors think that just because they have a character doing something egregious, something bad, just because they call themselves out in doing said action, that it's fine, that it's dandy, that I could keep on doing it. No, the fuck you cannot. Just because you call yourself out does not mean that you can keep on doing the same shit that you're calling yourself out for. Absolutely not. So I gave that a 3.5. Next. Ace of Spades. And you know what? I'm not even going to attempt nope, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even gonna disrespect my good sis like that. I enjoyed the fuck out of this. What did I give it? 5 out of 5. Yup. I gave this a 5 out of 5. This was very much, again, I like books like these. I like I don't know if it's cheap of me to say this, but like, actually no, it's not, because I read the author's note and I like Pretty Little Liar-esque books. Like, I like books that give me Pretty Little Liar vibes. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a Pretty Little Liar girly. I'm a Pretty Little Liar girly. Hello, stand down. I like books that give Pretty Little Liar vibes. Like, character, plot, and I said gay. 5 out of 5. I would definitely be reading more books by this author. This is where I need to start doing my due diligence, okay? So I have a next Peter Swanson book, and it is a talent for murder, right? So this is A Kind Word Killing is the first in a series. This book here, A Talent for Murder, does not follow. It's the third book in a series, right? And this is where I start losing myself, because let me see, what's the second book? Okay, so The Kind Word Killing is the first one. The second one is The Kind Word Saving. And then we have A Talent for Murder. So I need to read The Kind Word Saving to complete that little series, okay? So I gave A Talent for Murder 5 out of 5 stars. Are we surprised? No, we're not. No, we're not. In this, in my review, I don't know what Peter Swanson does. I don't know if he's solely just an author. The way Peter Swanson's write his characters, the way each character has their specific skill sets. Oh my gosh. A Talent for Murder, the book itself was a talent. And the callbacks, I love a book that could zoop me back, okay? I love a book that could whoop, 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 call back to number one. And keep in mind, this is the third book. So I didn't even read the second one, but I will. I'll get it. I like callbacks, and in the first book, something took place, right? And this is how I know I enjoy this shit, right? I picked up A Talent for Murder on audio, right? And I was listening to it, right? And I was like, why do these names sound familiar? And then they said something, right? They said something, and I paused the book, right? And I was like, and then I did my due diligence, and I was like, you're number 3 to my number 1. My first 5 star of his number 1, you're number 3. I said, 5 out of 5 stars. Okay. See how quick that change up? Because I did not do my due diligence on this one. The Trials of Leela Dalton. And this, I kid you not, I recovered a little bit after this book stumbled the rest of the way. I didn't do my due diligence in this book, okay? I'm going to read my first sentence, right? If I'm being so honest, I would have DNF'd this book. I pushed along simply because after 8 chapters, I picked up the audio. Now, this is where I know it was my fault, right? On Goodreads, this book has a 2.87 review, okay? 2.87 stars. I kid you not, when I finished that 8 chapters and I picked up the book on Audible, the Audible review was a 2.75. Why the fuck did I continue reading this book? What did I give this book? Guess. I gave it a 2.75. This was the most stupidest. Be nice. 2.75. I'm gonna just leave it there. 2.75. Book 3 in The Legacy of Orisha, Children of Anguish and Anarchy, right? Now, first, does not match my books. It's fine. We'll leave it. I gave this a 3 out of 5. And I follow the author on Instagram. And why does it look like she's writing, or why does it look like she just turned in a 4th book? Why does it look like she just turned in a 4th book? And I want to ask her, who asked? Miss Tommy Adeyemi, who asked? Is that being nasty? Bro, I said that this book low-key felt like this second book. Like, it felt like copy and paste. Okay, this is where I climb back up, because we're at 53 minutes, guys. And you know what's crazy? This video will go up as is. What if I say this video is going up as is? What are you gonna do about it? Next, we have The Favor by Nora Murphy. What do you think I gave this? 5 out of 5. My shit. This is my shit, okay? These kinds of stories, these kinds of... it low-key gave espionage, like spy, like gotta keep it a secret, like America's Next Top Model type shit. It's 4:20 in the morning. iPad's on 6%. This is 53 minutes in, and I have one more month to get through, basically. Bro, I enjoyed this. Like, they don't ever find themselves in the same train carriage or meet accidentally at the gym or the coffee shop. They don't even discuss their problems and find common ground. They don't even acknowledge each other. Although their lives have all the trappings of success, wealth, and happiness, they are in fact trapped. Bro, what does the thing say? Leaving would be dangerous, staying could be worse. Domestic thriller, shitty husbands, bad bitch wives. This is my shit. 5 out of 5 stars. I fell in love with hope. Ooh. I fell in love with hope. We're on 5%, guys. We're gonna shoot this shit up. I fell in love with hope. I gave this a 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 stars. When I tell you, read the trigger warnings, what I say? Read the trigger warnings. And because this book is trigger heavy, baby. This book is trigger heavy. I liked it. 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5. I don't know why I'm doing all this. I have not told y'all what a single book is about. Why do I keep attempting? I'm not him, okay? I'm not him. I could barely formulate my synopses on these books that I read. I'm not him. I'm sorry. I just want to tell y'all if I enjoyed it, because also some of the books that I read are backlist. They're backlist. So like 85% of the chance someone somewhere somehow read this shit 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and there's a video on YouTube about the book. So I don't need to like really go into great deep synopsis. And also, this is, if someone's telling you that a book is 2 out of 5 stars, you shouldn't go and read it. I'm sorry. There's certain books where if enough people say it's bad, you should take the hint. It's bad. Case in point, 2.87 on Goodreads, 2.75 on Audible, and I still finished this fucking book. Pathetic. Anywho, next, we're rolling April, okay? I kid you not, April might have been my worst reading month, okay? April may have been my worst reading month, okay? We start off with The Shadow of the Gods. I gave this 5 out of 5. There's nothing to say. I gave this 5 out of 5. Varg pissed me off a bit, but it's fine. Varg pissed me off. Elvar, okay. Orca, that's my bitch. Yup. Orca, that's my bitch. 5 out of 5. Next we have, I need to wrap this up, guys. I'm tired. Next we have the Atlas 6. I give this a 3.75. Something about this didn't work for me. Something about this did not work for me. And I'm looking at my review, and I said that I would read the second book. I don't know. I read the first book, and it was 3.75. Do I really want to read 2 more books? 2 more books. I don't know. I did like all the characters. I liked the characters, even the characters that we were supposed to hate. I liked them well enough. They had their own stuff, you know what I mean? The pacing of this did not work. I don't like when books play with time. And when I mean play with time, I mean like there's no indication on how much time has passed in the book. You know, we start on page 1 and we're at one place, and then we're on page 50, and all of a sudden you tell me 5 weeks have passed, and I'm just like, is that true though? Is it? You know what I mean? 3.75 out of 5. A Dowry of Blood. I liked it well enough. It's a vampire book. I said that the settings were beginning to like all feel the same. Like no matter, and they traveled, okay? These are some well-traveled vampires. And I just said that it all felt the same. Everything felt formulaic. The ending was good. I don't like these edges though. I don't like these frayed shit. It's not for me. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. The Friend of the Devil, I'm not even staying long. I gave this 2.75 out of 5 because what the fuck was this? Because what the fuck was this? I don't know. This was a mess. This was a mess. Again, cocky detective. And you're not even a detective, you're an insurance investigator. And what gagged me is he was on some cocky shit over a fucking book. He was hired to find a book. Friend of the Devil, 2.75 out of 5. Iron Widow, I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. It was fine. I have Heavenly Tyrant, so I'll read it. I don't know. Something about this was just like something about this was muddy. Something about this was very dirty. Like, it wasn't clean. And when I mean that, it just like it wasn't a clean cut. Something about this book just wasn't a clean cut. Maybe a couple more revisions, and then a release. Something about this just didn't. 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, I think we have my most disappointing book, okay? I think this is my most disappointed book, okay? The Paul Bearers Club by Paul Tremblay, okay? Now, I had a rant about this shit, okay? I had a rant about this shit. I gave this shit a 2 out of 5. And in hindsight, I should have gave it a fucking 1 star just to be nasty. But, okay, right? I'm gonna talk about this one, baby. Bro. We have a man named Art Barber, right? And he's going to tell us, he's writing a memoir about a club that he had when he was in high school, and about this very weird, strange thing that happened to him at this club. No. Bro, we were supposed to have a memoir, okay? We were supposed to have a memoir. So, Paul Tremblay is writing a novel, but the novel is about Art Barbara writing a memoir, okay? And no. So first, because we could be nice first, we could be nasty later. So first, look at the cover, okay? All white, all pristine, and then we have the Paul Bearers Club, and then we have by Art Barbara, because again he wrote a memoir on the Paul Bearers Club, but it's written by Paul Tremblay because Paul Tremblay wrote the Paul Bearers Club, okay? So we have Art writing this memoir. I'm sorry. You see, even the thing has it as crossed out as a memoir and wrote in a novel, because I'm gonna tell you, that's what it was, a novel, okay? So we have the black, right? And as you see, we have the red. The red is this supposed friend that found Art's memoir, and she's making revisions. She's proofreading, and she's correcting, and she's just, writing shit how shit should be written. No, this was a no for me because, oh, it died. It's fine. This was a no for me, guys, because it just, one, it didn't give memoir vibes. It did not give memoir vibes. And then two, the story, convoluted, fever dream, mess. And then, so the memoir slash novel spent this entire time telling us that something is not this, right? That it's not this. Just for the ending to be like, ooh, gotcha, bitch. But who'd you get? Who'd you get? Because you didn't get me. What you got, 2 stars. 2 stars. This might hurt. I think I gave this a 3 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5. This was a mess. This was a mess as well. Lock room type shit where guys, I had a bad I know when I know I didn't have fun when I can't even tell. I finished this book just last month. The ending half of last month as well. This just wasn't, bro, this was so fucking confusing. I kid you not. This was so fucking confusing. Okay? I don't like when authors try to confuse us. When authors try to confuse readers. And then they, in the book, they're like, they give you that one thing that kind of like starts putting everything together, and then you're like, but wait, now I gotta rethink everything because the beginning is not what I thought it was, because now you're telling me that this is actually how the puzzle fits. And I'm just like, I spent 145 pages thinking that this was one thing, just for you to tell me, psych. Just for you to be like, psych, rethink it. And I rethought it. I did. And that's why you got a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5. I think I gave you a 3.5. I don't know. The big door prize. The big door prize. The big door prize. Yo, I DNF'd this book last year. I put it down because it was too fucking slow, okay? Too fucking slow. What if I tell you I picked up the audio and it was still fucking slow? What if I tell you I tried to put the audiobook on 1.45 speed and the person reading the book was still reading it fucking slow? I'll tell you what this book was about real quick. Bro, we have this machine that pops up into this town, and for, is it $2? Is it $2? For $2, this machine will tell you your life's potential, right? So basically, this entire town is doing this machine shit, and everything start going awry because once you do the machine thing, now you start thinking, now you know for a fact that whatever job you were doing is not the right one. So for example, your teachers, your police officers, your school bus drivers, your nurses, your pharmaceuticals, all those people did this thing, and after they did it, they were like, oh, well, I'm in the wrong field, baby. Let me dip, right? Crates ensue, blase squaze. And then we have a next plot line that involves a gun, right? This is what I hate. Is it called Chekhov's gun? Is that law called Chekhov's gun? Where if a gun is introduced, the gun has to be used. Is it called Chekhov's? I'm gonna put it up there. When I go to edit, we had an entire chapter about guns. We had an entire chapter about guns, guys. Did I get a pow? Did I get a pow pow? Nope. I didn't get it. I didn't get it, and I think I was kind of upset about that because when I figured that out, it made me start to think about the machine. About the machine. What if I told y'all? What if I told y'all, right, that the entire book being summed around this machine about your life's potential? What if I told y'all we only figure out the tea about the machine in the last 3 pages of the book? What if I tell y'all we only figure out the tea on the machine with the last 3 pages of the book? And guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? I only got a paragraph. I only got a paragraph. A paragraph. 1. Yeah. I think I gave this a 3. I should have probably gave you a 2. I kid you not, guys. A paragraph. You're spending this whole book trying to figure out what's the tea about this machine. A single paragraph on the last page. And I kid you not, when I found out, I was pissed. The reasoning behind of it, pissed. Anyways, one more book for the month. One more book for the month of April. Hostage by Claire McIntosh. I think I gave this a 3.5. I'm saying I think because she's dead. A plane gets taken hostage in the name of what was it? In the name of climate change. In the name of climate change, okay? Would you, what is it? Would you, can you save hundreds of lives or the one that matters the most? So, T, this flight attendant, gets accosted, blase squaze, her kid gets kidnapped, boom, boom, boom. And she has to do this, she has to abide by their rules or else they're gonna harm her kid, right? These are the most stupidest criminals I ever met. These are some of the most stupidest criminals I ever met. And also, I don't know how I feel about vigilante shit. Like, I don't know how I feel about the whole Batman shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're willing to hijack a plane. You're also willing to fly this plane into a building, all in the name of climate change. I don't know. Something about that just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Something about that just doesn't make sense to me. You're willing to hop on a plane. Because, let's start there, okay? You're willing to hop on a plane, emitting more fuels into the air, to then hijack said plane. So you're gonna fly the plane in the air until you're out of fuel, right? Right. And then you're going to fly said plane into a building. And you know what the gag was? It wasn't even a building to do with their mission. What the fucking opera house? What the fuck did opera have to do with climate change? Go the fuck to hell. Okay. I have 5 more books, but these are the books that I read this month, okay? But I think I need to talk about them because they equaled my 40. They tallied my 40, right? So, Heartstopper, Volume 5. Guess what? 5 out of 5. Blood Like Magic, I think I gave this a 3.75. I think I gave this a 3.75 because Brody, my girl Voya pissed me the fuck off, okay? Pissed me off. We're gonna just leave it at that. That bit pissed me off. I think I gave all of these 3 stars. I'm looking. Maybe I gave this a 4. Guys, I'm tired, as you can tell. I'm tired, okay? But that's the 40 books that I read. If I remember, I'm going to have what my average score is for the first 50% of my reading goal. But ladies and gentlemen, this is it for me. Cold. It's cold. I have y'all here. Might as well just keep chatting. I want to make some changes to this platform that I'm creating. I want to be more consistent, and I do want to. Bro, I'm not employed right now, so the fact that this is my first video that I'm going to upload in the month. I'm slacking, guys. I'm also going to stop forcing myself to read bad books. I'm saying that while I'm looking at this book right now that you're sitting on top of. Here's the thing, right? When I read a book, right? I give a book the first 50 to 75 pages to grab my attention, okay? In the first 50 pages, I should have a good grasp on the book, okay? I should be able to tell someone about what I'm reading, right? After that, when I'm noticing that 2, 3, 4 days went by and I'm picking up every other book except for that one book, then I pick up the audio, okay? Then I pick up the audio and I'm like, okay, boom. If I get 50% in with the audio, I'll continue. I'll read the book, I'll do the audio. I'll do both of them at the same time, right? However, when I reach that 50% and I'm still not feeling the book, I would put down the physical book and just do the audio. and I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing. If you're not good, you're not good. You're not good. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the fun part is going to be putting these shit back on. I don't know if I'm going to stack them in how they were, how you were. It's not getting done right now. Brody, I'm tired. And this video is an hour long. Am I editing it? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I need to do any editing, honestly. I just sat here going through 40 books. You know what I mean? Like, okay. I'm going to brush my teeth and then go to sleep. I'm tired. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another video. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And I hope that my next 50% of my reading goal goes swimmingly. I hope that I enjoy the books that I'm reading. I want to do a video where I go through my 5 stars and read the next of whatever. So like, The Girls Are Also Nice Here, I would look for the next book that author has and read it, and that goes for like the same on my shelf. I want to go through my 5 stars and read books, whatever, because I have a lot of firsts from a lot of authors. I have a lot of backlists from a lot of authors, but I don't have, I have consistent books from said authors, but I don't have a lot, if that makes sense. I don't have a lot. I think there's like 3 or 4 people that I have a quality amount of book, a good amount of books for them. I don't think that goes all across the board. But anyways, guys, I'm going to sleep. This was fun. This was fun, guys. I'll hold up a stack for you guys. I'll try to give you I'll try to do it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Put this here. Put these here. Oh. Oh. Okay. Thumbnail. Okay,